Hi, it's me again with Corel Roll Tips and Tricks, and this is part 3 about it's a wrap for wrapping. If you didn't watch parts 1 and 2, you really need to maybe understand. But I created this measurement tool with in 1/8 degree increments, and this would be very helpful. I don't do very many tumblers, and I never have done a wrap like that. But if you can see, if you get this circle right here, it's the dimension of this. I think it's a Yeti type cup. And what's going to be helpful is you can test it before you do all your other calculations in part 1 and 2, because you can draw a ring, and if we look, I can see that that ring is all the way around. Now, I kind of stole this idea from one of my mentors, Roy Brewer, that actually had it engraved in wood, and he had the device to kind of lock them into the back. But there's really, to me, there's no way to get that perfect. Have them all start and in the center. So I thought if you just draw lines and then print it out on a piece of, and I'll give you this file if you'll email me, and I'll have a link at the bottom of the video for the address. And then you just draw out your cup size, and then you can measure it from here and then print it out and make sure it's right. I just used an online calculator, and let's say the diameter is 3.5 inches. So now we have a circumference of 11 would be probably close enough. So we have 11-inch circle. When you go back to Corel, and your file, if you ask me for it, will not have these other lines on there. Whoop. So you can grab those and do that. Maybe bring in an indexing line and put it about right in there. And then remember, we had 11. So we need 11-inch circle. No, that's not right. What was our, no, we need a 3.5-inch circle. The 11 is what you're going to use later. So we're going to go back to Corel and make this with your ratio locked, just type in 3.5. And then to get it in this drawing perfectly, what I would do, and I might even change this a little bit, but you could have it maybe snap to that guideline. So you could grab the circle off here and have it snap to that guideline. But we need to have it go to this first edge. So let's do this. Grab our line and then hold down the shift key and grab your circle and hit L. No, that did the opposite. I make that mistake. Grab your circle first, hold down the shift key and grab this one, and then hit L. That's going to put it exactly on the edge. And because we snapped to that guideline, this is our measurement. And if you look, if we extend that line up, so it's that line right there. And if we look, it is at the 3, and if you had this printed out on paper, you could see it's 3.5. And so you'll know that you're right, because measurements on this wrap, I found out this weekend are ultra important. So let's make this circle just a little bit bigger in maybe another scenario that maybe it's not 3.5. It is, let's go 3.62 and let's see what it does. And so grab the circle, then grab this line and go L. Well, wouldn't you know it, it's perfect. Let's make it just a little bit off between the lines. And then grab the shift key again and hit L, put it back to that line. And see, it's just a hair over, and you'll be able to read this better on paper, that 3.5. So what you can do then is, once you printed this out and you know you're right, you could always take your parallel dimension tool and get on that black quadrant to that one, and you can see now we're at 3.531. Let's see if we're not right. 3.351. So the parallel dimension tool confirmed it. So if you will print that out, because it doesn't, cost you anything to print it out on paper, and then put your cup on there and just kind of double check your measurement. Because it's, I used to measure the circumference, and that's even with a paper tape, it's not very accurate. Because the tape, especially on a tapered cup. So and this is real easy to draw out. I mean, just draw some lines in 1/8 inch increments and change the colors. And, all I did for this, I actually used the parallel dimension tool leg call out. And you just go like here and down. And then it gives you a place to type, and you can put 0.00 because that's your starting point. And the reason it's black is because I turned it black. And then you could turn your lines black. Also, maybe show up on the printer better. Anyway, just another way to measure something and double check yourself, especially if you print this on a paper. And if you look, I just laid my Yeti type cup there. That one's not very clear, but there's a little bit of an end lip on the cup, but I can see that line all the way around. I hope that helped just a little bit, and thank you for watching.